Go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Impact Arena for Alfreton Town, hosting South Shields in the Vanarama National League North. I'm Vaughan Creer. Alongside me is Matty Cottrell. This fixture, in very similar conditions to the game here at the Impact last season. A choppy winter night. Pitch has seen better conditions, but a game last year which Alfreton Town came out in 1-0 with a 1-0 victory. Alfreton Town coming into this one off the back of 2 league victories away at Warrington and Oxford. South Shields off the back of a quite topsy-turvy, a 4-0 loss, but then a 5-1 win in their last 2 league fixtures. So we should be in for an entertaining affair tonight. We will run you through the lineups here just ahead of kickoff, a delayed kickoff. Here we are, starting off at 8 due to an incident on the M1. But we'll run you through the Alfreton Town team to begin with. So number 1, George Willis back between the sticks after a brief injury absence. Josh Claxton and Nathan Newell, the fullbacks. Adam Anson keeps his place in the side alongside his centre-back partner, where's it gone, Max Hunt. Adam Lund, George Cantrell, the captain today. And why is the wires covering it out?
Liam Waldock.
Liam Waldock make up the rest of the midfield. Lewis Salmon and Billy Whitehouse on the wings, with Jake Day through the middle up top. And on the bench, David Moyo, Jed Abbey, Harry Perrett, Jake Askew and Ahmed Salam.
Yeah, and for our visitors this evening is number 1, Miles Boney in goal. 2, Istin Hughes. 3, Collie Shepherd. 5, Dylan Morse. 8, and captain Robert Briggs. 33, Thomas Broadbent. 18, Ashton Mee. 6, Martin Smith. 7, Mackenzie Heaney. 15, Luke DeBall. 9, Paul Blackett. And on the bench is 13, Carl Seymour. 4, Jamie Bramwell. 11, Carl Crossley. 19, Brian Taylor. And 27, Anton Dudick.
So as the teams now do take to the field for this delayed kickoff, what do we think? We'll get your thoughts on the game, Matty, just before we get started.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really interesting one. I think it's similar to last season in the terms of, Tuesday evening, the pitch was a kind of in doubt, but I think when you look back to the fixture here at the Impact last season, it was torrential rain, and it put our pitch on its last legs, and
it did.
We practically crawled over the line at the end of the season. And obviously we've not got that kind of downpour day. I mean, you could tell we were actually down in the press area rather than the gantry last time out to keep dry. Keep the
commentary gear dry.
Yeah, but this is one of them ones where it's got the same feel to it, but I don't think it's going to be the same kind of game. It's going to be really, really, I think, a war of attrition is the way I'm going to put this. And I think whoever breaks the deadlock will go on to win the game. And that brings me nicely onto my prediction, which I predict a lovely, lovely little 1-0 win. Again, a bit deja vu.
Yeah, that would make sense. And as you mentioned, this fixture last season, it's not quite the same. You know, it's similar in the aspect that, it's a midweek game. It's a Tuesday night. It's very cold. And will be colder tonight, actually, because the back of the gantry, I'm not sure if people can see, but the very harsh winds over the weekend has resulted in some damage at the back of the gantry. So we'll have some airflow, which will be nice in the summer months, but for now we'll be putting up with a little breeze. But South Shields look to be the team that will get us underway here at the Impact at 8 o'clock. Going into the match, Alfreton Town 7th in the league table, South Shields down in 12th. I think there has been some shifts, obviously, because some of the other games have begun 15 minutes ago, so the live table has jigged things around a little bit. But the referee prepares to get us underway at the Impact, and here we go. South Shields shooting from our perspective left to right. Alfreton going their usual right to left in the first half. And those fans walking around
all the way around
to the other stand as they've realised the way that their team will be shooting. The kickoff routine goes straight out for a throw on the far side.
Clacky gonna line up a throw in for the Reds early on. It's usually one of the ones you usually get Lundy going over, but with Clacky, he's got just as long of a throw as he sends it down the line, looking to seek out the header Jake Day, who doesn't quite get a connection, but it comes back down for him, and he looked to flick it over the top to Billy Whitehouse in behind, who's impeded on his run by the South Shields centre half. I think it was Dylan Morse, and he wins a free kick.
Yeah, it's a positive start. Positive start for the Reds, obviously not having the kick-off, but then earning possession straight from that throw-in, finding their way up the pitch, gaining that territory, and Billy Whitehouse made that run in behind, was held by the number 5, Dylan Morse. The referee judged that to be enough to award a free kick.
Whitehouse stood over the free kick here, right-footed from the side near the home dugout. He's got Salmon to his right. He's going to look to play this across that danger area, I think. He does. It's floated towards the back post, headed away by Hughes. It's going to travel all the way out for a throw-in. This will be an opportunity for Adam Lund as he warms up that especially long throw-in. As always, I love the way he kind of jigs his back, gets ready for his first throw-in every week.
You can see him when he warms up, flinging his arms forwards, just getting those shoulders warm.
I think it's Whitehouse. He makes the run short and he gets it. He's dispossessed and it's knocked out by Hughes once again for another throw-in. He did well to cotton on to the short run. It's one we like to do every now and again, and he got, Whitehouse's touch wasn't perfect. He got in front and he gets it away, but Lund's going to loop one long back in towards the goalkeeper. It's flicked and out for a corner. It looked like it was going to be flicked on by Adam Anson, but one of the South Shields men, there was about 3 or 4 of them crowding the ball, and it's come off one of their heads last and gone out for a corner.
Yeah, I think we saw the more characteristic of the Adam Lund throws that we're used to. They're going long into the 6-yard box. Max Hunt and Adam Anson, the usual targets, and that one turned behind for a corner and another chance to get the ball into the box for the Reds.
Billy Whitehouse preparing to put another delivery into the box. He goes long to the back post. It's back across the area by Adam Lund. Jake Day attacks the ball. It comes off a yellow shirt, and it's going to go out for a corner on the opposite side now. Billy Whitehouse makes the long journey over to take it once again.
I think it was the defender, number 33, Thomas Broadbent, that made the intervention at the end there. You saw Jake Day peeling around, and it looked like he might have had a chance to get a shot away, but the defender got right in the way in the nick of time, turned it behind for another corner on the far side this time.
Well, once again, we're seeing that love train that was implemented last week, and Lundy peels around the back. He looks to flick it back up. The ball was just a little bit dragged towards the edge of the area, and Lundy was stretching, but it comes all the way out and trickles out for an Alfreton throw-in after he did actually flick it back into the area. But it comes out, another throw-in for Alfreton as Nathan Newell sees the ball out. Lundy throws it down the line towards Jake Day, who flicks it inside, headed away once again, and it's out for another Adam Lund throw-in. So far, South Shields protecting that box really well. It's something you have to do against Alfreton, is you have to win those first balls into the area, because if you let someone get a flick on or if you let it bounce, that's when you can be punished.
Yeah, I think they knew what was coming going into this game.
Lundy moves the advertising board for a bigger run-up. He throws it in there, and it does bounce into the box. Jake Day swings a leg at it, but the referee blows his whistle for high foot. The ball does end up in the back of the net, but Jake Day just raised his right leg up too high, and I think he caught, I think it's the full-back on the far side for South Shields, Collie Shepherd, who took the brunt of Jake Day's boot. I think he may have over-dramatised it, but he did need to go down and win the free kick, and he did, which prevented the chance for Jake Day to obviously end up putting it in back of the net.
Well, yeah, I think Miles Boney came to try and claim it and didn't quite get there. And I think there was nothing wrong with the initial challenge on him, but then it was the raised leg from Jake Day on the fullback that caused the referee to put the whistle to his lips, as he does again.
Yeah, Boney goes all the way along. Max Hunt, as he does so often, gets in front of his man and heads it back the other way. He takes a particularly vicious shove in the back, and the referee wastes no time to raise his whistle to his lips and award a free kick. George Willis back in the side after a brief spell out with injury for the past week. Wanders up to nearly the halfway line to knock this into the area. Sends it diagonal and into the box. Anson's up, but it's headed away. Nathan Newell on Paul Blackett, who turns and he gets the ball out wide. It's the number 15, Luke DeVol, who plays the ball through. Looked to flick outside by Martin Smith, but he can't quite keep his pass under control, and it runs all the way out for a throw-in. But a promising turn by Blackett on the halfway line round Newell. The ball out wide seemed to put South Shields on the front foot to have a promising counter-attack, but just one pass goes wrong and Alfreton regain possession.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Blackett with that turn on the halfway line there, kick-starting that counter-attack, and he's certainly one of, if not the player that you want to highlight in that South Shield side as a danger. 29 goals in the league last season. Looks like he might be on to meet those numbers again this term, and he's going to be a man that was kept quiet at the Impact this time last year, but Billy Heath will be looking to set his defence up in a similar way to keep the number 9 at bay once more.
Yeah, well, it's one of them ones where it could be he's a danger man. He's the one you want to watch for South Shields, and I think they're going to be a hard team to break down, especially with when we talk about that kind of winning the first ball, getting out of the box. They are operating with a back three centre half, so they're going to have an extra man in there at all times, getting ready to knock the ball away. As Billy Whitehouse picks the ball up on the left-hand side, and he looks to get across, and he can't quite. He goes back to Adam Lund, who takes his chance to put the ball into the box, but it's headed away, and Claxton picks up the scraps. He knocks it out to Lewis Salmon, who's up against Shepherd. He looks to attack the byline, and Shepherd gets his body across, and Salmon fouls him as he raises his left arm to try and regain body control, but knocks down the South Shields man, and it's a free kick.
It's clever defending, really, from Shepherd. You've seen Salmon's taken the touch out of his feet, and you knew that he was going to try and make his way down the line. Shepherd's just gotten his body in front of him, felt the contact and gone down, and it's a textbook free kick, really.
Well, we wait again as Boney makes his way out right to the far left-hand side, and he goes long. He's looking through the middle, but it's won by Adam Hansen. I'm not sure what the referee's given.
I think he's gesturing that somebody was holding somebody's shirt.
Well, it is an Alfreton free kick. We do know that much.
The South Shields bench are not happy, and Alfreton have the free kick. Or is the referee given a drop ball? He is.
Well, Hunt looks to
hit him.
Knock it in the channel towards Salmon, but Shepherd gets it away, and it's picked up by Duvall, who looks to get past Joshua Claxton, who gets his body in, and the linesman on the far side's flagged it Alfreton's way, and the ball must have already been out because it's clearly come off Josh Claxton as he intercepts the kind of ball down the line, and he throws it long now towards Jake Day, who brings it down on his chest. He looks to do a almost spinning volley to get it through, but it's cleared away, and it's picked up by Hunt at the back. He looks for the diagonal switch towards Jake Day, who gets up well but doesn't win it. Cantrell and Lund both following up for seconds, and it falls out to Clacky, who puts in a high curling ball, and it's headed away once again by Morse. Picked up by Lund, and Whitehouse manages to win a throw-in off Hughes.
I think Alfreton have sustained a small amount of pressure from that counter-attack. Outside of that, we've not really seen South Shields threaten forward in the first 10 minutes or so here, but Alfreton another chance to get the ball into the box, as we know Billy likes to get his side to do.
Adam Lund throws it long towards Hunt and Day, and it's flicked on what I thought was a South Shields man, but it's given the way of the visitors, and they'll have a goal kick.
Yeah, it didn't look like Max Hunt had too many complaints with the referee about that one. Sort of just
not a lot of protest.
Made his way straight back to his position, so that would indicate that it did come off of an Alfreton man. But yeah, from this perspective, it's hard to tell.
Well, Boney's going to send this goal kick long again, and they're playing quite a narrow formation, so they've got to look for one of those front two of Blackett or DeBall, but it's won by Hunt, and Whitehouse is going to give chase, but it's headed back to the grateful grasp of Robert Briggs, by Robert Briggs, the captain, to the goalkeeper, sorry. DeBall looks to flick it on. Blackett looks to lay it back off for his
offside
striking partner, but the flag goes up on the near side to us.
I think that was up against Blackett. He's asking the linesman if it was him that was offside, and I think he was right. It was that clever little flick. Well, it looked quite like a clever little flick from Luke DeBole, but Paul Blackett coming in from an offside position to try and keep it alive. The linesman spotted it and ordered the free kick.
Yeah, I don't actually think DeBole got a touch on the ball with the flick. I think it was I don't think he expected the ball to come to him in the first place.
he's tried the little sort of back heel to black it, but I think, yeah, it would make more sense if he hadn't touched it, because in that case it would be the pass coming through from the defence that Blackett was offside from.
Well, Willis knocks it down through the corridor towards Jake Day, who gets the flick on, and no one looping round, and it goes all the way out for a goal kick. But winning that initial header is a positive sign when we think about how well we've done at home over the past year, and the kind of one game we lost after such a long unbeaten run to spinning where it came, because they won every first ball. They didn't even give us a chance to follow it in, as Hughes looks to go diagonally. It comes off the backside of Liam Waldock, but Shields retain possession, and they look to switch the ball out wide for Ashton Mee, but it's under hit, and Lewis Salmon gets there. Jake Day goes up for the header, but he's caught a little bit underneath the ball, but Cantrell picks up the seconds. Jake Day looks to knock it in behind for Waldock, but it's won again. Claxton picks it up again. Shepherd looks to come inside to Mackenzie Heaney. Goes back to his centre-half, who sends it long down the line, and Anson will send it back. South Shields maintaining possession for an extended period of time here, where De Ball looks to go back and wins a free kick off George Cantrell, who just put his foot in as the ball was passed.
Yeah, I think it's the first real spell of possession that we've seen from the visitors. And I mean, out of the two sides, the first to keep a strong spell of possession on the floor, you'd probably think it would be South Shields, and they've taken that free kick quickly.
And Blackett has a chance to latch onto this, and outside of the foot on his right looks to find the far corner of Willis's goal, but he can't quite hit the target. I think Alfreton will be grateful that he didn't capitalise on that chance, because they look to be asleep.
Yeah, I mean, that free kick taken on the halfway line swiftly found its way all the way through to Paul Blackett. There were a few claims for offside, but the linesman nor the referee interested in those whatsoever. So I think you're quite right that Willis and the rest of the back line are going to be relatively thankful that that effort was in the end well wide from Paul Blackett.
Willis picking some mud off his boots before he takes his goal kick. Couple of short steps, and he sends it long once again towards Jake Day, who wins the header and heads it round the side. Lewis Salmon is gone to ground looking for a free kick. I don't know why he would go down if he wasn't fouled, because he was getting to the ball.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, because he has, if he goes down straight away when the arm goes around him, you think he might get that free kick, but because he's delayed his...
Hang on, I'm going to cut you off, because Waldock's away down the right-hand side here. Players crash in the box. He puts the ball across. Boney down well to intercept the ball. Whitehouse waiting at the back post. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, you're right to do so. That broke quite quickly, but yeah, Lewis Salmon trying to win that free kick, but you were quite right. It looked like he was going to latch onto that ball, unless maybe he thought he might have been offside, but even still, that would have meant that the free kick wouldn't have been given anyway.
Well, it's knocked into the ball, who's dropped in a bit deeper, and he's done fantastically well on the turn as he gets away from Waldock and Anson, and he looks for Hughes out on the right-hand side, who will just keep the ball in and do enough to knock the ball off Nathan Newell and win a throw-in right in the corner. It's almost on the corner flag as he looks to throw it back cleverly into a bit of space for Duval, who goes inside. A couple of neat passes, and Duval gets it back on the edge of the area. His touch, not fantastic. The deflection off Hunt comes back to Duval. He goes back to the number 7. I keep forgetting his name. Haney. Shields recycling possession, just getting into these positions in the final third and holding possession really impressively. Morse on the halfway line. Looks to play out to Hughes. Quick 1-2. Morse goes back into the middle to Briggs. Switches it across the back line to Broadbent. A left-footed pass through the channel. It's really clever. Heaney puts the cross in towards Blackett, headed away by Hunt. Waldock clears away the danger. Jake Day, man on his back, does really well. Brings it down on his chest. Fantastic play from Jake Day. Plays a 1-2 with Adam Lund. Claxton now sends it down the line towards Salmon, who's up, but it's headed away by Broadbent. Shields keep possession as they go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Miles Boney, who is going to play it to Morse. Hughes, Morse again, just inside his own half. 15 minutes into this game, and there's been no major chances. Blackett did have that one where he broke in behind but couldn't hit the target, and Jake Day having the ball in the back of the net, but whistle went way before for high footers. Shields just kind of keep possession inside their own half. They're happy to just kind of keep switching possession.
I think it's a mix of South Shields happy to be knocking the ball around between their centre halves.
Hughes gets away down the right-hand side. A long ball by Broadbent. Hughes on the byline. Cuts it back. Great block from, I'm not sure who it was, but Shepherd. De ball off the face. Willis clears away with his right foot. Hunt looks to send it away.
That was a scramble.
Yeah, it was. It really was. I think it was Shepherd who ventured all the way forward. A really, really good run by Hughes. We saw him break away down the right-hand channel, and he cut it back to Martin Smith, of all people, arriving late, and his touch looked to be going in. I think it was a fantastic block by Anson, who got the flick on it. Hughes down the line. Finds. Oh, great tackle by Liam Waldock. He found Ashton Mee down the line, and he looked to be away, but Waldock recovering well into the position and putting in a crucial slide challenge to prevent the chance. Well, a quick feet and back, and Hughes with a fantastic Cruyff turn on Whitehouse, puts it into the area. Headed away by Anson. Back down by Broadbent. Cantrell holds possession. Lund looks to hit Billy Whitehouse on this left-hand channel as he is in a foot race with Morse, who gets there first with a slight head start. The goalkeeper composed, plays the ball into Briggs. Out to Hughes, a good outside the foot pass on his right to Duval, who plays an incredible ball over to Heaney, who puts it across. Blackett's there. Fantastic save from George Willis, but it's still alive. Shepherd puts it back across. Willis again.
That is some return back to the team from George Willis.
Absolutely astonishing save from George Willis. You would have put your house on Blackett rustling the net there with that chance. It looked almost certain to go into the back of the net, destined for the visitors to take the lead, but George Willis throws his body across his goal, makes himself as big as he can, and it's a fantastic save to keep Alfreton on level terms in the early stages of the game.
I was going to say, it looked like he was going to sprawl onto the seconds as well, but he did well just in time to pull out of it and not give away a penalty. But it will be a corner.
Ball whipped in towards the front, away by Cantrell. South Shields keep the ball. De ball out on the right half space, looks to whip it in. Blackett goes down in the area, screaming for a penalty, but it's cleared away. A bit of a snapshot from Briggs, goes all the way out to the left-hand side, and the cross is going to come in. De ball looks to... He looked like he was going to take it first time, but he brings it down instead after a slight touch. He's up against Nathan Newell, looks to get to the line. Newell stands up really well and knocks it out for a corner as he blocks the cross.
Yeah, Alfreton under some pressure now. South Shields have really ramped it up. I mean, I think it's all come from that spell of possession where they were just passing the ball around between their three centre-backs and the goalkeeper, and we mentioned they were happy to keep possession there, and I think it was, I think it was a bit of more of a mix of Alfreton happy to let them have the ball in that position, but we saw that killer pass from Broadbent over on the left-hand side that created a chance, and from then there's been some nice triangles in possession that have led to opportunities for the visitors.
Well, Heaney over the corner, left-footed, whips it towards that front post again, and left palm of Willis down by his waist kind of flicks it away. I was a bit worried it might end up in the back of the net, but Heaney's going to deliver again on that left foot. It's whipped all the way around the back, headed away by Hunt. De ball looks to bring it down, but Waldock does enough, and now Salmon has a chance to give race against Hughes, who does really well to turn away, because it looked like Lewis Salmon might latch on to the end of that. South Shields will lower the tempo once again and just keep the ball in their own half.
Yeah, which Alfreton have been happy to let them do so far, and it was a pass sort of similar to that, but with a bit more quality earlier on from Broadbent that broke the back line and let Blackett run through and created a chance for South Shields. But there with the momentum now, I think it's safe to say. Yeah,
Broadbent has got quite the passing range on him as the ball comes down to Heaney down the left channel. Cantrell, the captain today, giving away a free kick as he put his body into that challenge. I think a fair judgment from the referee.
Yeah, and I think that is now, if he was the one that made the challenge earlier on in the first half, his second foul of the game already, so we'll have to be careful, the midfielder. He's no stranger to a booking, but definitely going to have to be on his best behaviour for the rest of the game if he wants to avoid one now.
Yeah, well, Heaney once again on the set piece by the looks of it. He has quite the wicked whip on him.
Going to be a one-man wall by the looks of it.
Yeah, 2 South Shield players on the edge of the box. The rest of them packing in bar the 2 they've left back for a counter-attack. The ball's whipped in towards the far post, and it is Morse who wins it at the back post, but head up and never really worried Willis in any way.
No, it was a fantastic delivery, though, on that far side from Heaney. I mean, you identified his whip on his left foot, and that was no different. Straight through to the back post. Pace and power found its way to its intended target, but he couldn't hit the target in the end with his shot. George Willis was taking his sweet time adjusting his socks.
He's taking his gloves off.
I think even for George Willis, this is some significant clock running, although I think that time it was more of an actual, had more of a case to be.
Wanted his socks out in.
To be delaying the game just a tad.
Once again, this very, very packed kind of area of the pitch. There's so much space out on the kind of far side. All of the players in the outfield positions really getting close together for this goal kick. Willis sends it, and it's narrowed down the middle again towards Jake Day. It's a fantastic flick on. Whitehouse gets onto it. Waldock, he's got space out on the right-hand side. He's onto the edge of the box. He puts a low cross in, away from Shepherd. The ball looks to turn. Nearly a fantastic turn, but it's won back by Cantrell. Claxton looks to find Waldock down the right-hand side. He's got Shepherd on his back. No help for Waldock. He gets the cross into the area, but it's out for a corner. Ooh. South Shields protest.
Yeah, they're not happy with that. But I think Liam Waldock, isolated in that position on the far side, did really well just to make something of that, because he wasn't going to be able to cut back, find an option behind him. He just had to try and win the ball off of the South Shields man, and he did exactly that.
Once again, Billy Whitehouse, our number 7, on a set piece now.
Every South Shields player back in the box. Ref's going to make us wait.
Yeah, I think South Shields identify the danger we can be from set pieces, the danger we have if that ball drops into the box. You've got to pack your area and make sure it's one of your men who win the first ball. I think it's useful when you've got Newell and Claxton staying back, having a couple of men free to try and pick up that loose ball in the worst case scenario. Whitehouse now looking to clip it in. It's flicked on. Lund at the back, and it's another fantastic save. Alfreton appealing that it's gone over the line, but here's a chance for South Shields to come forward now. Black it up against Cantrell, who defends it well and goes all the way back to Willis. But what a fantastic save from Boney. Come all the way to Adam Lund, completely unmarked at the back post, who looked to just kind of volley it into the kind of vacant area where the goalkeeper had to travel across to, who, similarly to Willis, just threw his body across his line and did really, really well to palm it before it went into the back of the net. And now both teams have had a major chance in this game.
Definitely. I mean, what a stop that is. Boney responding with an unbelievable save of his own to respond from George Willis's one. But, yeah, Adam Lund, he's done well to control that volley and keep it on target. The goalkeeper pulling out some miraculous dive to deny him. And as you say, there were some claims from the Alfreton fans and players alike that had crossed the line. Everybody's eyes went straight to the linesman, but his flag stayed firmly down. So it does remain 0-0.
It's one of them there's no technology for you at this level, so we have to trust the referees. But as far as where I am, I know we've not got the best sight of it, but I'd give the goalkeeper the credit of a good save and preventing a goal.
Yeah, either way, he's done brilliantly to get his body across to turn it away.
Well, Briggs looking to head one away. Day picks it up and knocks it back, and the ball eventually falls to Heaney, who looks to clip one long, but it's won by Hunt. Waldock knocked it back for Lund. It's a long ball, well brought down by Jake Day, but the flag goes up just in front of the home dugout for an offside.
Yeah, the back line stepped up quite smartly there. I think immediately they knew that Salmon and Day were going to be in behind should that ball come forward. They made the decision to step up at that moment, and it just caught them offside.
Vorney sends it long and it's straight to Hunt, who returns it. Morse returns once again. Newell down this left-hand channel. Hughes up against Whitehouse. Hughes gets his body in front and just kind of miscontrols the ball, and it trickles out for a throw-in. In a really, really promising position for Adam Lund to cause some problems for the visitors.
Yeah, it could be a chance for Alfreton to break that momentum, see if they can ride it for a few minutes now. Hunt and Hansen heading forward.
Lundy being serenaded by the Alfreton fans before taking the throw-in short to Whitehouse, who gives him it back. It's crossed in. Jake Day wins the initial header. It's not going to go out as Anson keeps it in and wins his side a corner. A fantastic ball from Adam Lund. The header from Jake Day just kind of going straight up and into the air. I was waiting to see it was going out for a goal kick, but brought down really well by Adam Anson. Holds it up, wins a corner.
Anson having to improvise. I'm sure that's not what he was not what he was expecting to do from that situation, but
Whitehouse delivers, and it's towards the front post this time. It's headed away. Newell looks to knock it out to Waldock. It's slightly overhit, and the ball can get on it. He knocks it down towards Blackett. Newell right on his back. Blackett plays it in. Heaney looking to travel forward over to Ashton Mee. Turns around and plays it back to his captain Briggs. Gets it back off him. Smith now on the halfway line, gives it to Hughes, who's looking to advance. Goes back to Smith on the halfway. And South Shields will once again recycle play with Morse, going all the way back to his goalkeeper. Well, Salmon looking to pressure Broadbent. He just pops it back to the goalkeeper once again. South Shields not in any rush. They're happy to keep possession, make Alfreton press up. Jake Day pressing the goalkeeper, who's forced long. Lundy wins the initial ball, but Mee picks up the seconds. Briggs looking for a clipped pass in behind. Claxton is going to get there first in front of Shepherd, but it looked for a brief second. Shepherd might have got there as Claxton turns away with it and clears it all the way up the line and out for a Shields throw-in.
Yeah, I think that's something interesting to note. We've seen South Shields with the ball in their back line and with their goalkeeper acting as a sort of fourth defender at times as well, just to knock it around the back. But now we're seeing Alfreton press much higher just to deny them that easy killer ball from one of their centre-halves through to Blackett or a player making the run beyond the back line. Not giving them that option now. And we're seeing them forced long from the goalkeeper there. Could be a sign of possible frustration or Alfreton's game plan working in their favour.
Well, Claxton just winning a header, knocking it down to Lewis Salmon on the right-hand side. He's going to look to attack the South Shields back line. Heaney does really well to nick the ball off him, and Salmon can't help but take a handful of his shirt. The referee awards a free kick. Shields take it quickly. Duvall dropping in really, really deep into his own half to pick up the ball, pops it back. Morse, Hughes, back to Morse. Once again, South Shields just taking their sweet time as Boney goes long towards Blackett. It's won by Hunt, but not away, and Blackett has a chance to bring it down the... It's chased by a South Shields man. I can't see because he's gone off the pitch who it was. I think it was Smith who looked to keep it in, but he can't quite. Out for an Alfreton throw-in.
It's the second time now where we're seeing Miles Boney forced to go direct from that, having the ball at the back. That press clearly telling.
Well, out for another throw in the long throw, almost straight out for another one. Lundy will have a chance to kind of throw it into the box here, and the tell is that Anson and Hunt are both on the way up to the edge of the area. Going to look to flick it on for someone who's crowding that 6-yard box.
Yeah, we're seeing the usual suspects in there at the front post. Jake Day, Max Hunt, Adam Anson adopting a slightly deeper position.
Lundy launching it in, and it's won South Shields' head, but it's gone out off Hughes for a corner. Some of them wanted a foul for a push on Hughes, but I don't think there was too much in it.
No, not enough for the referee to award a free kick, that's for sure. And Whitehouse prepares to take one of many corners that he's had to have the duty of so far this evening.
Whitehouse once again, right-footed in-swinger. Lundy comes short, it's whipped in, Salmon's up! Oh, it's into the back of the net, Lewis Salmon with his second league goal of the season. I'm not sure it was all him, but he will take it. A fantastic little corner routine. Adam Lund runs short. The South Shields men cotton onto it quick. They all move. Leaves Lewis Salmon free right in front of the goalkeeper, who jumps up high, heads it towards goal. It doesn't quite seem to cross the line. I'm unsure if it had, and the clearance, well, it definitely ended up in the back of it. And then as they looked to clear it off the line, it was fired into the roof of the net, and Salmon wheels away in celebration.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a tricky one to decipher. As you say, Adam Lund, uncharacteristically from that corner, peeling away to the front post, going short, catches the South Shields defence off guard, and the delivery straight onto Lewis Salmon. He gets the initial contact, and whether it was the goalkeeper or a defender that got the final touch just before it crossed the line. I mean, we saw it hit the bar, looked like it hit the post as well before it finally nestled in the net. But regardless, Alfreton Town have battled well, and they have a lead to show for it.
Yeah, well, Salmon's claiming it as Alfreton regain possession almost immediately from the get-go. Willis knocks it long and through the middle towards Jake Day. It goes over his head, headed away by Morse and cleared away by Hughes, only to Newell on the halfway line. Plays it to Liam Waldock, who looks to do a neat flick inside, but Hughes wins it. Morse goes back to his goalkeeper once again, and Whitehouse will hold his press. He's happy to let Boney have it there. Briggs out to Hughes, who looks to play the ball down the line. Newell can't quite clear it away. Smith looking to play it back to De Ball. Lundy intercepts and goes back to Hunt, who will hook it long. Morse with a header inside towards Heaney. Cantrell doing well and goes into a 50-50 with Shepherd on the far side. Alfreton unhappy the decision goes against them. It looked like a 50-50.
He's going to find his way into the book.
He's going to, yeah, that's his third one. I mean, was it a bookable offence? No, but your third one. I think it's harsh against them. I think he had every right to go for the ball, but
it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, that challenge and the first one included, they're sort of fouls that are sort of nothing fouls, really. That one a 50-50, the first one quite soft, but as you say, they tally up. That's his third in the first 45, and the referee not left with much choice but to dish out the yellow card.
Well, the Alfreton home fans, the faithful, letting the referee know their feelings, but it's worth mentioning we have an undefeated record with this referee. We've only had him twice and didn't lose either of those fixtures. We'll be hoping to continue that run as the free kick's clipped towards Hunt, who heads it away. It's back into me in the kind of edge of the D in Alfreton's half, back to Briggs, who's wandering forwards towards the final third now, who gives it to Broadbent, who looks to put in a seeking left-footed cross from a deep position. Jake Day looking to challenge him, and Cantrell wins it. Day hooks it all the way through to the South Shields goalkeeper, who's outside of his area. Briggs now, who's looking for a wonderful ball, and it is that as Heaney brings it down. Fantastic save from Willis. Anson getting the seconds. Newell clearing it away for good. Hughes gets it back to Morse. Fantastic save once again from Willis, and great ball over the top from Briggs, who finds Heaney, who took his first touch, was immaculate, and Willis was down and best to it. As Shields go along again, Blackett looking to bring it down. Newell does really well to get under control and goes back to Willis, who hooks it up high and away with his left foot. Cantrell clears Morse's header. Only back to Morse, who's going to hook it back up again. Cantrell. It's down to Heaney, who strikes first time on the volley, and Willis is happy to let that go past his left-hand post.
Well, George Willis, I mean, you'd never think he was out of the team for a couple of games with that injury. He is as sharp as anything. That was a fantastic stop. The touch from Heaney was brilliant to take down that long ball, and he got the shot away as quick as he could. George Willis also gets himself in the book, and I think that's going to be for his choice of expletives towards the linesman for not flagging for that alleged handball just off the back of the save. Adam Lund having a discussion with the linesman as well, but 2 bookings for Alfreton in the first half, 1 to Cantrell, 1 to Willis.
Billy Heath letting his feelings be known to the linesman as well. Willis goes long, headed away by Briggs. Newell hooks it back up. Day knocks it down for Cantrell with a clever header over to Waldock, heads it back to Claxton. Waldock on the edge of the area lays it back off to Claxton, whose low cross hits Waldock. A chance for Shields to counter-attack. Blackett in behind Anson, up against Max Hunt now. It's a 2-on-1. He goes strong and he finds the way over Willis, who, after making 2 fantastic saves, finds himself wrong-footed, and it just nestles into the back of the net, almost directly down the middle of the goal.
I mean, that's the danger, isn't it? Paul Blackett, the man that we highlighted, a natural goal scorer, especially in this division, had a superb record last season, and that is why he's latched onto that long ball out of almost nothing, sized up against Max Hunt, and he spotted Willis, not completely comfortable on his line, and he's got the ability, the technique, just to lift it over him. He got just enough on it to get it under the crossbar. George Willis won't be happy with that one. South Shields have got themselves an equaliser just before half-time. I'll say just before half-time. Kickoff was delayed by 10 minutes. It's not just before I made the mistake that you made a couple of weeks ago. There is 10 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, well, it was wonderful. Willis kept Alfreton on level terms and then kept them in the lead just moments ago. He won't be too happy with himself after that one. Just wrong-footed, caught out. I know he thinks if he was another 5-yard back, he just catches that. But instead, it's found its way over the top of him and into the back of the net, and South Shields are back on level terms as we go into the final 10 minutes of this first half. Claxton looking to head it forward, brought down by Jake Day on his chest. South Shields win. It's come forward by Smith, who can't quite keep it under control. The ball knocks it back to Broadbent, who looks to switch it diagonally once again towards Blackett, but the flag goes up. It comes from an offside position. Adam Lund letting the linesman know his feelings towards him. Sorry, that made me giggle.
Paul Blackett as well, joining in on the complaints to the linesman. I think he felt that he was onside in that scenario. He's been flagged for offside a few times now this evening already. But he has now, I mean, he beat the offside trap to get himself on the score sheet from that long ball up towards him. So he can't be too disheartened.
Well, knocked towards Day, headed away. Claxton looks to pick up the seconds, but fouls the man in the process, and South Shields will have a free kick deep in their own half. Well, I have to say, I did not see 2 goals coming in the first half of this game.
No, I mean, it's certainly been a clash of styles in this one. South Shields keeping the ball on the floor at the back. We saw then Alfreton react to that, try and press a bit higher to deny them that freedom at the back. And the pressure told. We saw them go direct a few times, look a bit unsettled, and Alfreton eventually found themselves in front. But South Shields responding with that brilliant finish from Paul Blackett to make it 1-1.
Well, throwing for South Shields. Heaney plays it. Feet and back. Shepherd. Flick from De Ball. Looking for Shepherd again. Claxton with a slide-in challenge and knocks it out for a throw-in right towards the corner flag in front of the club shop. Shepherd looking for an option for his throw-in. They don't seem to have the weapon of a long throw into the area. Heaney does well to receive it to his feet, and Shepherd lays it back to me. Brought down by Whitehouse, who has a chance to charge up, but his clearance is blocked by Hughes. When I say me, that's a player, by the way. Not saying he passed it to me.
Matty's not brought it down in the gantry just yet. We still await that day.
I just got my hopes up.
Just going to speak it into existence.
Adam Lund throws it long down the line. JJ can't quite win it. Hunt wins the second, but it's Anson up against Blackett in a 1v1. Anson gets in front and heads it back to Willis, who looks to go down, and he's lost out. Blackett's gone down. He's on a yellow. This could be dangerous. The referee doesn't seem to be entertaining a second one. He reached to his pocket for a second and my heart dropped.
Oh,
you're joking.
Oh my God.
George Willis has received a red card. Well, that changes things up 5 minutes. 5 minutes before half time, Willis gets a red card. Does he know?
No, because he walked back to his net.
Well, it was.
The gloves are coming off.
A fantastic start to the game for Willis. 2 unbelievable saves, and he's gone almost from hero to zero in a matter of no time. Picked up a yellow early on for time wasting. Or was it for having a go at the liner, did you say?
I think it was for having a go at the liner, because he wasn't taking on with that goal kick at all, but he did have some choice words for the linesman.
Well, he picked up a yellow for dissent, and it didn't look like the referee had any intention of giving him a second booking. It must have been something he said, but I don't think he can have too many complaints about giving away a free kick. I mean, he's made the mistake as he's gone down. He's not got a hold of the ball, knocked it out of his box with his knee. He's then got up to try and get onto the second ball before Blackett's got in front of him, latched onto it. Willis has knocked him over, kind of give away a free kick. And then the referee looked like he had no intention of giving him another booking. And then after, what I assume as either the referee was always going to book him, or Willis talked himself into a red card. And if that's the case, he will really be kicking himself.
Yeah, it was the sort of challenge that, unless he's just forgotten that he was on a booking, I think he's tried to immediately atone for his error. But, in doing so, Alfreton Town are going to be really under the cosh now. Thankfully, this is one of the weeks where Jake Askew, the backup goalkeeper, has been named on the bench, and he will be sharp, as obviously had a couple of games recently whilst George Willis was out injured. And I think it's going to be Liam Waldock, the sacrificial lamb, as Alfreton have to bring an outfielder off to allow Jake Askew to don the gloves between the sticks in George Willis's place.
Oh, nice. No, he wanted Billy Whitehouse off. It's a mistake from the fourth official. It was Billy Whitehouse that wanted up.
I was confused for a minute because it looked like it was the board had gone up 13, and then the number in red was 1, and I was thinking, well, that's I don't think you can sub him off, mate. So I thought you might have just got it the wrong way around. Waldock was making his way over, but no, it is the number 7, Billy Whitehouse, who is withdrawn just to make space, essentially, for Jake Askew to stand between the sticks. And he'll have an early free kick to deal with. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll see a couple of extra minutes added on at the end of this first half for that stoppage as Heaney stands over the free kick. It's right in the corner on the near side. Heaney's going to put one of them whipped balls in, and he looks to... Oh, I don't know whether that was intentional, but he looks to test Askew early as he almost tried to sneak it in at the front post, but it hits the side netting. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone for a deliberate try and catch the goalkeeper out immediately, test him early doors. But that one just ended up in the side netting. But yeah, Jake Askew introduced into this one. Not that he would be expecting to have gotten onto the pitch tonight. It's going to be 4 games in a row for Jake Askew now. And Stephen brings up a really good point actually in the chat that we do have another very good keeper. Askew is a good goalkeeper who's played the last 2 games as Willis has been out with injury. He's going to be able to jump back in like he's not missed a beat. As I'm not sure. Referee's making us wait. I think he wants to have a word with Billy Heath. Yeah, Billy Heath looking with his head down, stood next to the linesman. I think it's going to be a yellow card for the Reds boss, Billy Heath, who no reaction whatsoever to that one. But that's Another card dished out to Alfreton. But yeah, Jake Askew thrown into the deep end really into this game.
Yeah, well, he's going to, the left-footed goalkeeper now, he's going to send his kick long, and it's wide towards Adam Lund. Flicked on by Smith, and it's a throw-in for Alfreton. It's one of them ones where Billy will just be hoping his side can get over the line and get into half-time. It looked like Jake Askew was trying to give out instructions to the other 9 players on the pitch, and the referee almost stamped out immediately and said, "You've got a goal kick to go take."
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Billy Heath has no doubt sent him on with a message to give out to his back line and the rest of his players. It'll be interesting to see how the Reds take shape now.
Well, it's flicked down. Salmon. Jake Day strikes. Fantastic save, Boney. Salmon on the follow-up in the back of the net once again, but the flag goes up on the far side. Salmon almost with what he would have claimed was his second of the night, but the flag goes up. The Alfreton fans behind the goal barking at the linesman for raising his flag, but by the looks of it, I think his flag almost went up straight away. It was Salmon who laid the ball off to Jake Day. Yeah, Boney taking his time now, sorry.
He had no doubt. Linesman's flag went up straight away when Salmon latched onto that. So it's now the third time that Alfreton have had the ball in the back of the net in this one, but the score remains 1-1, obviously, with the Reds down to 10. Thanks to due to the red card. Second yellow received by
thanks to the referee,
George Willis. I was gonna say that, but then I think that's a bit harsh because it was a pretty textbook second yellow, really, to be dished out to the keeper.
Well, I think Willis and Boney 2-2 now. A fantastic save from Jake Day's snapshot. He will at least end the game on level terms with George Willis. Jake Askew's got some catching up to do.
He does.
As Boney goes long, Lundy's up really well for the initial header, and he gets onto the second one as well after Shepherd headed it back. Lewis Salmon back to Claxton, who looks for Cantrell, who's running the right-hand channel now. He gets in front, but he can't keep it in, and Broadbent can watch it out for a goal kick. He's going to leave it. He's going to make his goalkeeper Boney come all the way across to get it. I'm not sure if you were South Shields now, you'd want to be getting right on top of Alfreton. They're down to 10 men. They've clearly, they're going to be unorganised, flustered. They'll be hoping to get into half-time.
What I think it might now, judging by the shape that the Alfreton players are taking at the moment, it looks to be that the back four and the midfield three remain intact. But then just with Jake Day and Lewis Salmon, the lone two up top, maybe a case of your old school big man, little man.
Yeah. Well, headed forward by Hunt. Salmon looking to latch on. Hughes brings it down. Day intercepts the pass back to Mawson. Shields will have a throw in just in front of the gantry, which is really, really difficult for me to see.
No easier for me, unfortunately. So we'll keep you updated the best we can.
I'm watching it through Quinton's camera. Hughes drops it into Smith, looks to go down the line. Newell looks to hook it in behind. Briggs goes down. Salmon gets on the end. Looks to get past. Hughes picks it up as it looked like Salmon had got his way past Briggs. Salmon wanted a free kick. It's now Alfreton are screaming for a pass back, which I think it is.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. Because it's a pass, isn't it?
He's passed it back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah. There didn't look to be too much doubt from the Alfreton players as soon as it went back to the goalkeeper. Jake Day pressed him straight away because he knew that, well, I imagine that he thought he wasn't going to be able to pick it up, but he's done so.
Well, unless there's a rule we're not quite clued up on, I think that South Shields have just got away massively with Boney picking up the ball from a pass back.
Yeah, I think unless the only thing that I think the referee might have been able to judge that as would be Salmon and the South Shields player were contesting the ball together, and that the pass wasn't an intentional one to his goalkeeper, but it certainly looked that way. But then we are right behind where the pass went through, so it would have looked more like a natural pass to us. But nonetheless, Alfreton not happy with the decision at all.
Well, Broadbent winning the header, and it's his centre-half trio, Briggs, who picks it up, who goes long. It's knocked back forward. Jake Day looking to latch onto it. The ball bounced high up into the air, and Boney really had to leap to make sure that didn't find its way over his head as he almost misjudged coming for that ball. Hughes plays it into me in the middle. Out to Heaney. Going to be much easier for South Shields to take their time and find that killer ball at the back with one less man to press them, as me looks to play the ball in behind for Hughes, but Adam Lund slides in and intercepts the pass out for a throw-in. I'm just kind of on that edge of the final third now for South Shields as the whistle goes. No added time, board went up, but 1-1 at the break. Well, I said before this game that I think the side that take the lead, that break the deadlock, will win this game, and I don't think that's going to be the case anymore with Alfreton down to 10 men. Substitute goalkeeper Jake Askew, who by no means is a huge downgrade on George Willis, but down to 10 men is the main thing. Willis with 2 unbelievably fantastic saves, also matched by Boney, who's made 2 great saves so far as well, and it's all up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, you heard right when the half-time whistle went, boos rang round the ground from the Alfreton fans, assumedly directed at the officials. Alfreton not going to be happy, but this is the situation that they're in now, down to 10 men, still a level in the game though, and we'll catch you back for the second half. Who knows what will happen? We're seeing some more choice words for today's officials from the supporters just as they go down the tunnel.
Yeah, well, you didn't see that coming. It was 0-0 for George Willis, I think, is the story of that first half, but the sides go in at the break. We will take our break now for half-time, and we'll bring you the next 45 minutes of action in the next 15 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the first half of our live watch-along, and we will see you for the second half.
Lead boy.
Yep. Until the camera comes back on.
Nice.
Well, there we are. The teams are coming back out for the second half of the action here at the Impact Arena. And what we think will be made into a very, very scrappy game. Not for the fairest of eyes.
No.
The referee serenaded with booze as he comes back out. He's upset the Impact Arena tonight.
He has indeed. I think it's been... it's been the officials on both in the centre of the pitch and on either side. You've seen them catch some flack from the Alfreton fans and players. I mean, we've seen on the far side in the first half, he's flagged two goals away. On this side, we've seen him grass up George Willis for some dissent, which earned him his first yellow card. And then the referee obviously sending off George Willis.
Just to quickly point out that Joshua Claxton is stood over the centre circle to take kick-off.
Wow. Joshua Claxton in nosebleed territory. He's in the opposition half.
Someone get that man a tissue.
He's in rip-roaring scoring form, to be fair to him.
Well, Clacky waiting for the referee to blow his whistle to get the rigorous action underway in this second half as he lays it back to Anson, who knocks the ball far and long immediately. South Shields getting possession back fairly quickly after the restart as Shepherd goes back to Heaney in the middle. It's headed away, brought down by me. Lund wins it. Waldock looking to knock it through the gap to Salmon, but the pass is miscued, intercepted by Hughes, but the referee gives a free kick for the after challenge on Lund.
Yes, met with cheers by the Alfreton fans. Just finally, the referee, they feel, giving a decision their way, and he's rightly played the advantage. The challenge on Adam Land from me, penalised by the referee.
From you?
Yeah, I know. Not booked me yet.
He will do if you ever go that line up.
You'll let him know.
Claxton taking the free kick on the halfway line up towards the edge of the box. Hunt can't win the initial header, it's cleared away. Newell in a foot race with Blackett, who clearly has a turn of pace. He nearly gets there in front of Newell, who sends it back to the goalkeeper, substitute goalkeeper Jake Askew. Headed away by Morse. Back to Newell as the viewership goes back up following the restart. If you missed the first half, Lewis Salmon gave Alfreton the lead after about 30 minutes in the first half, which we're unsure if it's Salmon's or an own goal, but you know us, it's Salmon's.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Then Blackett on the counter-attack with a perler of an effort, finding its way over the top of Willis, who'd already made two fantastic saves to keep Alfreton level and then in the lead to make it 1-1. Back on level terms, and then 5 minutes before half-time, Willis already booked for descent. Fumbles the ball, comes off his knee inside his box, ball travels outside of his box. Blackett latches onto the loose ball and Willis brings him down. We've had another look at it and we think Blackett does milk it a bit, but he's done enough to get the Alfreton goalkeeper sent off down to 10 men, which makes for an interesting second half to say the least.
Most definitely, yeah. I don't think there's been any subs at half-time, by the way. I'm just doing a little number count on the both sides. I think we're all unchanged.
Yeah, did it before the restart. I was on it. I just didn't mention it because
Well done, mate.
there was no subs.
No. I was going to say, it's worth noting the Alfreton fans now cheering every decision that goes their way, even if it's a free kick deep inside their own half. Jake Askew preparing for this one. Yeah,
up towards the kind of edge of the central circle in the Alfreton area. He's going to left foot. It's actually a good one for him to hit diagonal on his left foot towards Hunt, who's up there, Day, who's up there, and Anson, who's right round the back. Hunt up, loses out to Broadbent. Waldock's going to get onto the loose ball, and he's going to go back towards his own half and play it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Askew with a neat little ball out to Claxton. who looks for the reverse ball into the space. Jake Day in front of Broadbent, and the flag goes up. I mean, not to say Jake Day's slow, but if he's getting there in front of his man, he's probably offside.
Yeah, cheers have come to an end from the Alfreton supporters behind that goal.
Day having another pop at the line, saying 2 yards on sideline, or 2 yards, he said. Good impression, that, wasn't it?
That was good. Not too sure if we believe him, though.
I do not. Well, Newell heads the long ball away. To ball out to Smith. Hughes back into the ball, who looks to play an interchange pass. Smith away and around Newell. He crosses in, he cuts it back. Heaney there. Cantrell gets in front, up into the air, headed away by Waldock. Only as far as Briggs. Knocks it out wide towards Shepherd. Claxton up, giving pressure. Shepherd looks to go down the line, and his pass miscues and out for a throw-in for Alfreton. And he said, what's he say? He said, 2 yards on sideline, or 2 yards on side. That's what he said.
Don't think she appreciates the impression.
It's a good impression. 2 yards on sideline. Or. Claxton looking to throw the ball long down the line. Flicked on by Day Salmon, looking to get in front. Briggs intercepts. Played out to Hughes, who looks to, he takes a touch. It was an interesting kind of turn he tried to do. Salmon nearly dispossesses him. Salmon goes down with Hughes, and South Shields are available to get rid of the danger. Flicked on by Day. Salmon looking to latch onto it again, but away by Morse. Brought down by Anson. Cantrell out to Clackey, who looks to switch it. Flicked on by Waldock. Away by Hughes. Brought down by Cantrell in the centre, who can't get the ball under control, and it's switched across by De Bolland out for a throw-in. Clackey once again, similar position to the start of the last phase of play. Clackey throws long. Day wins the initial, looking to flick it on, but it's out for a throw-in. So I'm surprised. I wouldn't have been too surprised if South Shields had have changed their shape coming into the second half. They've been operating with a, kind of 3-5 at the back for the first half. I thought they might have maybe changed it up if they had another system to throw an extra man up with a 1 man less on the pitch for Alfreton.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are just backing themselves to defend the 10 men of Alfreton and eventually let the pressure tell. There we go.
Corner from Alfreton, chased by Jake Day. Onside that time. 2 yards.
Probably more than that, if anything. And in the absence of Whitehouse, looks like it'll be Waldock on corner duty.
Clipped in low by Waldock, but it's cleared away immediately by Blackett. Newell, who's puts a ball in the air towards Claxton, who lets it run all the way back to his goalkeeper. Looks to click it long. Jake Day looking to bring it down. It's coming over towards Anson. It's cleared away by Shepherd, but he's kind of clipped on the heels by Anson, and the referee gives a free kick. The Alfreton roars behind the goal to disagree with the decision. I don't think there is too much for them all to complain about.
No, I think it's one of those that's not that contentious. I mean, some referees, depending on the way that the game's going, some will give them, some won't. But that one, I mean, there weren't too many complaints from the Alfreton players, which I think is all you need to know. Well, despite that, the Alfreton fans will protest the decision, as will some of the players now. Jake Day just having another exchange with the Lino. That one slightly more polite than some that we've seen.
Boney goes on towards, headed away by Anson. Cantrell look to bring it down, falls to Lund. Hughes does well to get in front of Blackett, looks to flick it on, and it goes all the way back to Askew, who knocks it up first time following the pass from Anson. Jake Day flicks it on well. Salmon looking to latch onto it. Salmon, who looked to be offside, but the liner does not put his flag up. Cantrell keeps hold of it, looks to flick it through to Salmon, who looked to chase. The ball runs all the way out for what would be a goal kick if the referee hadn't have blown for a foul on Cantrell on the edge of the area, about 20, 25 yards from goal.
Yeah, I think what we looked at in the first half, straight after the red card, we're seeing now when Jake Askew goes direct. It is the case of that good old-fashioned big man, little man, Jake Day winning those headers, Lewis Salmon running onto the end of them. And in that scenario, even if he doesn't latch onto it, Salmon, he's still there to sort of be a thorn in the sort of side of the defenders. And in this scenario, Cantrell's picked up the pieces, and often a free kick in a dangerous position.
Well, it's Waldock stood over the free kick. I remember once upon a time Bishop Stortford away last year where he scored from a similar position. He has a go and it had some venom on it, but it didn't have the dip and it went just over the top of the crossbar, but gave Boney something to think about as he scrambled across his line.
Yeah, it's certainly not the worst effort from Liam Waldock. Got it up and over the wall, but just lacked that final bit of dip to get beneath the bar. Out for a goal kick, which South Shields opt to go short, but then eventually down the line.
Here's the ball, who's charging at Newell. He puts a right-footed cross in and it's into the palms of Jake Askew fairly simply.
Yeah, I think he's done well, by the way. Coming into this game, you'd imagine not warmed up whatsoever, not exactly expecting to have to come onto the field, but looked okay in the first half with what he had to deal with, and he started the second half pretty confidently.
It's tough to get into a game when you've not, when you're coming into it rather than starting it. You've got to get yourself in that zone, especially when you're expecting to not play at all. It's not like any of the other subs who, eventually are going to have an impact, but he's done very well as Hughes comes down the right-hand side for the visitors. De ball plays it out to me with a great ball across Blackett first time, and he buries it. What a strike. How about that, Paul Blackett? With his 8th of the season, 2 of them tonight. What a fantastic right-footed strike. The ball across. Unbelievable. And to take it first time, side foot, gave Askew absolutely no chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely sweeping move from the visitors. Played into the box. First time passes, and it lands at the feet of Paul Blackett inside the area. And it was inevitable, really, as soon as it gets to the feet of the number 9. And that was a top-class finish right into the corner. Nothing that Jake Askew could do about it, and South Shields have themselves a lead. Alfreton now have a real mountain to climb.
Well, a thumping effort from Blackett gives the visitors the lead in what has been a game that has changed very, very quickly from Alfreton taking the lead to an equaliser from South Shields, a red card for George Willis, and now Alfreton lead into the second half. Sorry, not behind into the second half. Well, immediately the ball goes on from kickoff, flicked on by Jake Days. Lewis Salmon brings it down, back to Adam Lund, crossed in towards Jake Day, who's held by Broadbent. Loud appeals behind the goal for a free kick. Jake Day appealing for one himself, but there are no other appeals from Alfreton players.
No, I think it would have been a soft one that the referee have given it.
Broadbent clips it down the line. Blackett with a great first touch as he looks to challenge Anson and wins a throw in for his side, just out of our vision. Shepherd puts it into De Ball, who's driving towards the edge of the box. He has a go, and Askew will collapse on top of that, not causing too much trouble for the goalkeeper. It's one of them where I believe he's going to have to start thinking about changes fairly soon if he wants to get anything from this game. It's an unfortunate scenario to be in, but Alfreton must push on as Salmon looks to dance his way through. It's one back and out for a throw-in by South Shields.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at changes that Alfreton may make, it's going to have to be an attacking-minded player that comes on. Maybe somebody like Jed Abbey or David Moyo to switch things up. I think at the moment Jake Day's doing a great job in that sort of target forward role, flicking on those headers for Salmon to run onto.
Lundy with a high throw into the area. It's flicked on by Day. Waldock up. Cleared away by Briggs. Blackett takes it on the turn really well. Nearly gets away from Newell, but Adam Lund comes back to support him and wins back possession. Askew with it on the edge of his area now. Sends it long on his left foot towards Jake Day. Holds the ball up really well as he backs into his man. He leaves the ball for Lund, who's bombing on down the left-hand side. A drag back from Adam Lund, something we don't see all too often, as he wins a free kick from the challenger Hughes.
He's done brilliantly there. On that far side, Adam Lund winning that set piece, and I think these are going to be very valuable passages of play for Alfreton if they can get these set pieces, get the ball into the area and just create some chaos. I think it's Clacky stood over it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Clacky on the far side. Right-footed in-swinger. Coming right across the pitch to take this free kick. It's as far away from where he should be. It's a low whipped cross. It's headed away by a man in yellow. I couldn't quite see who, but South Shields get rid of the danger all the way back to Cantrell in his own half. He's going to send it back to Jake Askew. Sends the ball up long. Jake Day flicks it on. Briggs out to Hughes. Won by Claxton out for a throw-in. Hughes just in front of his own dugout now with the throw-in. It's getting colder and colder as this game goes on.
Yeah, it is. not helped by the lack of a box that we've got around us now, but
Duval pokes it through for Blackett, who's going to win the foot race against Anton. Looks to clip it back in. Anton intercepts and he chases to try and keep it in and knock it out for a throw-in instead, but it trickles out for a corner before he can get there. South Shields really sustaining pressure. We expected Alfreton to come out and make this an awful game to play in, but it's one of them where you can't make it an awful game to play in because South Shields are constantly controlling the ball, constantly controlling the tempo, possession. They did in the first half as well, where they were happy to keep the ball in their own half, just slow the tempo down and be cool, calm, collected, and it's eventually gone their way.
yeah, I think Alfreton did manage to put a good stop to that with that high press from the front line, but obviously with 10 men, that's not going to be the way to go.
Well, Heaney with a very strong whipped effort in, headed away by Cantrell and out for another corner now on the opposite side.
Oh, no.
Oh, and the referee has given a goal kick.
I mean, to put that simply, the referee has got that wrong.
Yeah,
He's got that wrong.
We
We are just as bewildered as the South Shields players. That, I mean, it just very clearly came off the head of George Cantrell over the bar and out for, I mean, you called it straight away a corner on the far side, but
yeah, it's
the referee disagreed.
It's not one of them where sometimes you can kind of see that, oh, maybe he's seen something else to what we've seen, but it's not like there was anyone on Cantrell. He was the spare man, and he's headed the ball from the front forward straight out for what should have been another corner. But we play on, and Jay flicks the ball through for Salmon, and I would have absolutely loved if Salmon had got on the end of that and poked it in after that. It would have been poetry at its finest. Ball rolled out to Broadbent, who travels out of his area, headed away by Hunt, flicked down by Salmon. Hunt winning the loose ball once again. Salmon looking to latch on it in behind. Boney off his line really, really well. Long, Newell loops it back up. Waldock challenging for it, but he loses. The ball picks up the loose ball and he plays through Blackett. He's through one-on-one and chips the ball into the hands of Jake Askew, but the flag went up almost immediately on the far side. And I'm pretty sure he was offside as well.
Yeah, it looked to be that way. But even if he wasn't, Jake Askew read the sort of direction of the shot, made the catch anyway. But yeah, just up the other end, it almost looked like Salmon was going to latch onto that loose ball, but the number 5, Morse, really good defending. Even though he didn't get a touch on the ball, just got his body between Salmon and the goalkeeper. Gave Boney time to rush off of his line and clear that one away.
Askew sends it long. Jake Day and Anson up for it, but only goes all the way back to Newell. Clarkey's going to send it back to Askew. Blackett pressing up on his own. Claxton picks the ball up. Heaney goes up with him, a left-footed knock forward by Claxton. Headed back, Morse knocks it up and out, and it's going to go all the way out for a throw-in about on the halfway line for Adam Lund to take.
2 balls on the pitch.
Flicked on by Day, and it's all the way through to Boney from the long throw-in. Rolls it out to Broadbent, who's got so much space. Without that 3-man front line, he has so much time to travel out, and Anson goes sliding in on Heaney. The free kick's awarded. Anson's going to find his way into the book. That's a 3rd yellow card for Alfreton player tonight. One of them already off. Natalie says, I thought this ref was good for you, probably mentioning the stat, reference to the stat
Yes.
I made of we've actually not lost with him. Well, there's a first time for everything. We've actually only had him twice. It's not that interesting of a stat, is it?
It's not a mega record.
It's not a mega record, but his record is done.
Well, it's not over yet.
It's not.
It's not over yet.
It's
There's
not,
only
it's
one goal
just-
in the game.
It's just not looking up for us, is it? It's not
No,
looking
it's
up.
certainly an uphill battle for the Reds now. And I mean, you've mentioned Billy Heath potentially looking at some changes soon. But even then, it's really tricky to sort of decide what to do and what individuals to bring on or off.
Well, Heaney whips it in, and it's there. Broadbent was there. I think the referee, I can't believe it. He's given a goal kick again.
I think this could be just some subconscious compensation, I think, from the referee. That one slightly more contentious, like, you know, could go either way, but
fair enough, ref. You've got it wrong, but yeah, the shot comes in from Broadbent from the whip ball, and it clearly comes off Anson and out for a corner. The referee gives a goal kick once again. I was about to say it was a corner, but I saw the referee's eyes, and he was not looking. He was thinking, and then he pointed at the edge of the goalkeeper's 6-yard area, but we didn't keep possession for long as Shields come forward again with the ball out to Smith, who looks for the ball in behind to Hughes, who's into the area, puts it across, and Hunt almost puts it into the back of his own net, but manages to steer it to the right-hand side of the post and out for a corner. Sure you don't want to give us a goal kick, ref? We wouldn't mind.
I think if he gave that one as a goal kick,
Conspiracy.
yeah,
Call the game off.
get the theorists out. But no, that one, Max Hunt, he had to make an intervention there, because if he doesn't put a foot in,
Oh, my knees.
that's going straight across the face of goal, which is not something you want to do as a defender. So he got his foot in. I think he knew that he was going to be able to turn that away from the goal rather than into the back of the net. But it is going to be a corner to South Shields.
Ball whipped in by Heaney. Broadbent was up, and it's up and way out for a corner. God, it's like it's like carrot in a box. It's like carrot in a box. This I was just waiting. I was waiting for it. Yeah.
No.
Oh God. Sorry, I'm up and down. My knees absolutely killing me now. Heaney once again whips the corner in from the far side. It's towards the back post. Broadbent up, flicked out by Hunt, and he's given a goal kick.
Yeah, that one with met with slightly less.
Like maybe it wasn't flicked out by Hunt.
No,
To me, it looked like it was.
There wasn't much
just man
opposition to that from the
initial reaction. Yeah.
South Shields players. I think it was. He certainly got his body in front of the player, but whether or not he got a little flick on it,
They
hard
just
to
give
tell
up
from
now.
him.
They're on the last warning for descent. Askew taking the goal kick up towards Adam Lund, flicks it on, comes off the back of Jake Day. Shields coming forward again. Blackett using his body to get in front of Anson, and he keeps possession. Holds it up, Smith looking to make himself an option. Still got it, Blackett, drops it off to Smith eventually, who looks to go back to Blackett, looks to flick it down the line to Hughes, and he presses what would have been the clearance from Adam Hansen, goes all the way back to Jake Askew.
Yeah, he's opted to keep that one in play, not let that one run for a goal kick. I think he fancies himself more dropping the ball out of his hands onto the for the volley than the goal kick.
Oh, he sends it. It's a great kick out of his hands, to be fair. Good job you said that. Flicked on by Jake Day towards Lewis Salmon, but brought down Shepherd. Duvall back to Shepherd, who's advancing forward towards the final third. Duvall, who charges forward excellently, looks to play it across. Smith. Hughes has so much time and space out on this right-hand side into the box. He plays a low crosser. Anson gets it away. Mee picks up the loose ball. South Shields just slowing down the tempo once again. Heaney out to Broadbent. Looks to flick the ball inside towards Smith, but it's away. Broadbent picks up the loose one. Mee out to Devoile. Hughes. Mee again. Briggs just inside his own half, plays out to Hughes on the right, just inside the Alfreton half. Backwards again. Just keeping possession inside their own half now. South Shields as Boney picks the ball up. Plays a 1-2 with his goalkeeper Morse as Jake Day trampled down towards him. Just some neat passing inside their own half. South Shields happy to just keep possession. Smith across to Broadbent. I mean, it's like with the 10 men having so much time up front, up in their own half, South Shields should just knock the ball around.
It's a late one.
Strong challenge from Hughes as Newell looked to leap away from it. The referee reached into his pocket. He picks out the yellow card.
I was going to say back pocket could mean either, but yeah, very firm challenge from Hughes. It looked like it might be high. Doesn't look like it was high enough for the referee to dish out a red card, though. Hasn't made his decision and dished it out just yet, but he has got the yellow card in his hand. I think that's all it's going to be for Hughes.
Yeah. It's one of them, to be fair, he had reasonable reason to go in for the ball. The ball was there to be won, and Newell just kind of looked to gallop away. I think it's the velocity he's come in for.
Yeah, yellow card dished out for Hughes. Met with boos from the Alfreton supporters. On another day, that could maybe be a red card, but I don't recall any other fouls being made by Hughes, to be fair, so it's not as if he's been tallying them up. Just a yellow for the right-sided defender.
Up the Mariner says, hope it stays 2-1. I'll go joint top of the prediction league. We don't care about your prediction league. We don't want it to stay 2-1.
No, unfortunately. Yeah, we're hoping for an equaliser here.
At least an equaliser.
Yeah, winner would be nice.
Can we have a winner, please?
Please, for Christmas. Early present.
Askew sends the ball up. Boney comes all the way miles out of his goal, and Hunt was nearly there for the second. It's cleared away by Briggs. Cantrell's going to look to keep it in, and he does. Claxton inside of his own half looks to loop the ball up again. Day looking to bring the ball down, cleared away by Briggs once again. Waldock back to Newell, who sends the ball long once again, and Salmon's going to get a chance to get on the ball in behind. Cuts onto his right foot, lays it back to Adam Lund, who whips it towards the back post on his right. Anson looking to head it back across, but it's a tame header. The ball bouncing though for Waldock on the edge, who goes down, wins a free kick just on the edge of the area. This is a really promising position for Alfreton here.
I think if you want to do it for a second time, call back to that Bishop Stortford free kick last year from Liam Waldock from even more of a similar position over on that left-hand side. If anything, slightly closer. And I think it's one of those, depending on where he puts the ball down, almost an ideal position. Not too far out, but also not too close where it's a struggle to get it up and over the wall. And then down into the back of the net. Although we are also seeing Josh Claxton lining up to take it as well.
Go on, Clacky.
If you fancy it, mate.
Well,
Jake Day opting to stand directly in Miles Boney's goal line. Just put him off a little bit. as he sets up his 5-man wall.
Clacky steps away from it. It was only last time out here at the Impact Arena. Clacky hit a very sweet strike from the edge of the box into the far corner against Needham Market in the FA Trophy, although he's not quite taken the free kick duty off Liam Waldock yet.
No, might have a little while to go before that one.
Well, it's a 5-man wall for South Shields. Liam Waldock on his right foot from the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's up over the wall, and Boney not only saves it but keeps hold of it as well, with 4 red shirts bounding down on him in his 6-yard box. If he'd have spilled that, it could have almost definitely ended up in the back of the net for an equaliser, but he gets down to the initial shot well and keeps hold of it. It's fantastic goalkeeping.
Yeah, really impressive. Making that initial stop and keeping hold of it, preventing any scraps for any oncoming attackers.
Well, a bit of head tennis as usual between Hunt and an opposition centre-half as South Shields prepare their first substitution of the game on the round. If we go on, there we go. No, around the 30-minute mark of this second half, not of the game, during the second half, guys.
Yeah. Looks like it'll be the number 11, Cole Crosley, to be introduced in place of Hughes, the right-sided defender who did recently get himself into the book. Perhaps some thought behind that change, just playing it safe with the yellow cards. Will we see Alfreton respond with a change of their own?
Yeah, well, it looks like Heaney's coming out on this kind of left-hand side, and Shepherd's moved across to the right, so the back 5 continues, but Heaney moves into a wide position. I think this is an attacking change, with Heaney being a more advanced of the midfielders so far this game, now playing in the left wing-back role. Knocked down by Heaney down the line towards the substitute, Crossley. Knocked out by Anson. But the man says, come on, Crossley, time for another brace. I thought you wanted it to stay 2-1. What are you on about? Make your mind up.
Well, we've seen, it looks like Jed Abbey might be readying himself to come on, which doesn't come as too much of a surprise. One of the attacking changes, a player that we know has goals in him after that run where he was on fire at the start of this season. I think it's a change, the most logical one that you could see coming.
He plays it out to Shepherd, who's now out on the right. Still prominently using his left foot though, as Smith gets round him and cuts it back. Crossley with a neat flick towards Blackett. Waldock sends it long, and Lewis Salmon's going to be able to chase the loose ball. He's up against Briggs. 4, 5, 6 yellow shirts get him back. No Alfreton wants joining Salmon, and he's forced to try and go back, and it's Ashton Mee who gets back and puts the challenge in and knocks it out for an Alfreton throw-in.
Yeah, I think if we're going to see Jed Abbey introduced for anyone, you'd imagine it might be Waldock, maybe Salmon, but I think he's done a really good job of running off the shoulder of Jake Day so far.
A long throw from Adam London towards Max Hunt. It's Deval who brings it down in his own area and boosts it out for another throw-in now on the near side to us on the gantry. Stephen pointing out Abbey is an ex-Mariner. Cheers, mate, you've nicked my stat for when he got subbed on. I was going to, slide that in there. I was going to look like I've nicked it.
No, well, he has got his kit on. So does Moyo, though. He's getting ready too.
Well, a long throw from Lund. Cantrell on the edge, back out to Lundy. Right-footed cross in, and the keeper looked to be coming. It's headed away by Broadbent, and Heaney down on the left-hand side. Long Clacky heads it back up. Jake Day brings it down in the area, turns left-footed strike. Snapshot, Anson heads it down. He's into the area. He looks to put it across the box. He can't quite get a strong enough connection on, and away by Briggs, and it's out for an Alfreton throw-in towards, it's kind of on that line where it's like not quite in the final third, but not quite deep. It goes long quick from Lundy, headed down, away from Devoil. Smith wins the second ball. Lewis Salmon wins the third ball and knocks it back to Newell, who looks for the diagonal pass towards Hunt, heads it down. brought down by Anson, out to Jake Day on the right-hand side of the area, puts the ball low and across the box. Max Hunt strikes. Anson also swung a leg at it.
Yeah, Anson picking that one away from Max Hunt. I think it made more sense to go on the right foot of Anson in that position. He had time to take the touch, but a very rare spell of sustained pressure for Alfreton in this second half, and it looks like Billy Heath is going to do his best to help his side ride that momentum with a double switch.
Yes, that is. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make him right now. I think it'll be the next time the ball goes out of play.
But yeah, David Moyo and Jed Abbey ready to be introduced. Whether that's going to be in place of Jake Day or Lewis Salmon, we'll wait and see.
It looks to be flicked over the top for Jake Day, and Briggs is going to leave it for his goalkeeper, who's barreled into by Jake Day. Oh dear, Jake Day might end up in the book for that. Kind of lay it off the ball. It's one of them ones where I don't think he can stop his momentum. Oh, he's just told the ref, yeah, you're not booking me, and kind of pushed the referee off him and walked past. So the referee's not going to book him. Well,
the fourth official has put his board up, and in doing so has told us that David Moyo is coming off, but he's not on the pitch yet, so I think he's going to rearrange that. But we are seeing Lewis Salmon off for David Moyo. He adopts the position up top alongside Jake Day, another aerial threat in that front line, and Jed Abbey replaces Liam Wooldock in that midfield.
Yeah, it's one of them where I would have liked to have seen Abbey and Wooldock in that kind of double 10 that we've spoke about before, but you don't really want to lose the solidity of Cantrell and London, then let South Shields run away with it.
I think that's the main thing. You don't want to change that kind of the back four and the back three that have stayed the same when down to 10 men. Even when you are chasing the game, throwing that away could be the self-destruct button.
Blackett playing it out to Heaney, who's up and towards the edge of the area. Great ball in towards substitute Crossley. Can't quite get a strong enough header on it, and Jed Abbey will pick up the next ball, lays it back off to Newell, who nearly finds Moyo in a half inside his own half, but he can't quite get a hold of it. Shields keep possession as the ball has it now. Turns and goes back to the centre half, Broadbent, who looks for Blackett up top through the middle. It's a great ball. He's had some fantastic passing range, Broadbent, tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going
to say Blackett couldn't get a hold of it, and it trickles through to Askew.
Yeah, we saw a flash of Broadbent's passing range in the first half, and that doesn't look to be letting up. He's still one of the players that they're leaning on in order to pick out that killer pass, breaking the back line, but hasn't had the success in the second half as he did as much so in the first. We are also seeing Harry Perrett preparing to come on in the late stages here. An injection of fresh legs, I imagine. Yeah, a player who always ups the level of intensity, brings a different level of tempo when he features late on in a game. I think if I check my clock, we will be coming on to the last couple of minutes of this second half as the substitutes come thick and fast. Yeah, just rolling the dice at this point, really. Well, won by Shepherd and out for a throw-in right on the halfway line for Alfreton. It's going to be the number 5, Anson, sacrificed for Perrett. So it's certainly, well, it's an attacking change in the way that it's a natural centre-half going off for a man who has played centre-half, but judging by the position he's adopting here, might be in that sort of midfield, but dropping into the back line when necessary, maybe interchanging with Lund a bit. Yeah, I think they'll be looking to go to almost like a kind of back four later on. Anson, I think the first time I ever saw Harry Perrett play, he did play centre-back against South Shields on the opening day of last season. Is that in the back three era? There was. I don't think they played a back three now. I think we were just Dwayne Wiley was injured, and he had a good game on that day. I thought, oh, he looks like a good player. That was my first ever Alfreton game. Nice. Other than Burton in the pre-season. Perrett's first introduction is stepping in to make a challenge. We know he loves one of those. Abbey bombing on down the left-hand side. He's been held by Shepherd's Briggs over, and it runs out for a throw in. Alfreton appealing for
appealing for a foul, but it's not going to be given, just kind of held off on Jadabi. Blackett sat down just leisurely. I think he waiting for some treatment, probably just running down the clock though, but
they are going to make a change. Whether that's to replace Blackett or not, we'll see. But he is back to his feet now. The number 9 and the scorer of South Shields, both of their goals this evening, probably been the man of the match.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he is off.
For Anton Dudik.
Well, we are seeing Ahmed Salam as well, the final Alfreton substitute, sent out to warm up in his jacket.
Oh, that's a good. Natalie said 3-1 Shields. I thought she was meant to have scored another goal. She was on about the first time we did play them at the start of the season. Yeah, that was 3-1. Oh. There was also another red card in that game. Dwayne Wiley picked one up really, really late on, and there was a free kick scored. And the two substitutes linking up early on as Dudik plays it through for Crossley with his head, picks it up on the edge. Looks to get it back to DeVol, who can't get it under control. Jadabi looking to bring it down. Shepherd picking it up. Smith plays it to Dudik on the edge of the box. Smith, fantastic strike from Shepherd on his left foot. Now it's 3-1. What a fantastic effort. It came almost from nothing. You see, they looked like the ball had gone away. Shields got back under control. I think Shepherd, who had found his way all the way up onto the edge of the box, he's just got it under control, and he's struck it sweetly on his left foot and just guided it into the corner on Jake Askew's left-hand side. I was going to say it could all be over, but I think it'd be a safe bet to say it probably is all over now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I think I'd agree with that. That's the goal that sort of kills the game. Alfreton did have a little bit of momentum going into these last 5 or 10 minutes, but South Shields have put an immediate end to that, catching the Reds on the counter, slightly disorganised with all of the players in sort of unusual positions and unfamiliar areas as the Reds push for that goal. But South Shields making it 3 as we approach added time, and you'd imagine that's all 3 points sealed for the visitors tonight.
Yeah, well, I predicted deja vu, a 1-0 win. We've got another type of deja vu, a 3-1 loss. Oh. That's a good little start. Quinton has just reminded me, mate, on that day, in that 3-1 loss to South Shields, Jadabi picked up 2 goals that day. Actually, remember, he got the free kick later on.
It's going to be a frustrating one for Billy Heath after the game. I mean, most definitely he's going to be. It's not an ideal scenario having your goalkeeper sent off in the first half and then going behind early on in the second half. But I think you can certainly, whilst respecting the way that South Shields have played and eventually ultimately got all the 3 points here with the 3 goals, all very well worked. Alfreton Town did make this a contest right until the final few minutes, despite having 10 men.
Oh, we've not seen a stoppage time board go up yet, unless the fourth official deciding that he's not going to do it again.
Yeah, we didn't see one in the first half, so who knows?
Shields now have a free kick on the kind of edge of the final third. Smith stood over it on the far side. He plays a clever ball into Crossley, who kind of invertedly ran in behind, plays it back to Smith, who finds the ball on the edge of the box. Smith again. Shields just happy to keep possession as they have done all evening. Heaney back to me. It's down the line towards DeVol once again. A step over up against Newell. Looks to get it onto his right foot. He's taking it to the corner, puts the cross in, and it comes off of Newell for a South Shields throw-in in the corner.
2 subs for the visitors near the end now. A late double change just to see the game out, and I'll wait for the boards to be held up.
Well, just to try and raise the spirits at all, if you're a fan of the Man City downfall, they were 3-0 up, they're now 3-3 with Feyenoord.
Goodness me. Well, we're seeing one of the changes, Brian Taylor, the number 19, introduced in place of Mackenzie Heaney. And the final change.
Jamie Brownwell, the only other player named on the bench for South Shields? Other than Carl Seymour, sorry, I thought he'd come on. I don't know why I thought that.
There we go. He's on in place of Martin Smith.
Well, throwing right in the corner. Brought down by Dudick. He's just holding the ball in the corner now. Runs down, I think it's Shepherd on the ball in there, gives it back. South Shields doing really well to hold possession for this long. Harry Perrott clears it away and it's knocked down by the super shot Jamie Bramwell. Crossley to make it 4 off the line by Harrison Perrott. Well, Alfreton have gone till the death here. Yeah. It could have been a 4th on the tally and South Shields have run away with a fixture then, but Perrott heroically off the line.
Yeah, it's a great bit of individual defending from the substitute Perrott. Askew beaten, but he got back behind him just to divert the shot away right at the last moment. Out for a corner, which South Shields are.
Taking shot, flick through. Perrott going to have a chance to get it away. Moyo looking to run the shower, but Briggs will knock it down to me. Who has a chance to knock it forward. Cantrell steps up, wins it. Newell back to Cantrell, who's got me on his back. He's going to win a free kick late on inside his own half. Askew's going to step up, and you can see from the level of intensity, you know, the Alfreton players are running forward, but you've got to take that almost instantly, don't you? 3-1 down, you need 2 goals, and it's almost as if, as the added time, 5 minutes will be added on, goes up, we do look beaten.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not impossible. Crazier things have happened.
Hunt out to Abbey, who knocks the ball up and high towards Jake Day. The flag goes up on the near side. Sorry. I was really trying to hold that cough in. it just came.
Yeah, I think it's certainly it's a good performance from the visitors. I think you have to give them their credit. Paul Blackett especially. We identified him at the start of the game as one of the danger men, and he's proven to be exactly that. 2 excellent finishes to initially draw them level and then give them the lead. Withdrawn towards the end here, but
Moyo's going to get on the end of a ball headed in behind by Hunt, and he puts the ball across, but Boney once again down 2 or 3 times tonight as crosses have come in low. He's collapsed on top of them really, really well. Just going to take his time with a leisurely stroll to the edge of his area. More rush at all. He's being hurried up by the ref as he rolls it out to Broadbent, who looks to send it down the channel, but only to Max Hunt, who can head it back, headed up into the air by me. Cantrell wins the second ball and gets onto the loose one as well. Broadbent steps up and wins it, plays it out to Shepherd, who picked up an unlikely goal tonight.
Great finish as well.
Yeah, fantastic.
Shepherd into the far corner. Nothing Askew could do to stop it. Just found the space on the edge of the area as Alfreton were slightly unorganised, trying to regroup on to recover from the counter-attack. And Shepherd capitalised, iced the game for South Shields.
Yeah, Shepherd driving forward down the right-hand side now. Puts it into Dudick. It's a strong challenge going in, and South Shields keep the ball. It's out to the number 19, Brian Taylor, who's come off the bench as well. Bramwell onto his left foot. Drags it wide. Never going to trouble Jake Askew, but it's still positive from South Shields. They're just holding the ball, controlling the tempo, controlling where the ball goes. You know, everything has been really, really clinical tonight, the way that they have operated, and it's really killed us off. And it's not very often you see that happen, but with a man down, you can't press that level of kind of organisation and knocking the ball around. It's very easy. We looked very easy to kill off, and I think that's a virtue to being down to 10 men.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that was the real turning point in the game. I think obviously South Shields had gotten themselves level before Willis's dismissal, but when that happens, it just derails your momentum completely.
Well, South Shields once again marauding forward with the ball down the left-hand side. He's got Crossley to his left. He gives it to him. Perrott coming over to challenge Crossley, just putting on a walk, waiting for Perrott to come to him. He's in no rush as he gives it back to DeWall. Bramwell, Broadbent. Just playing it between them at the back now, Bramwell and Broadbent. Broadbent once again playing one of those seeking passes through the channel. Plays the 1-2 with Taylor. Taylor now picking it up on the half turn. Puts it inside. Crossley, Dudek, me. This is fantastic play from the visitors. Shepherd onto his left foot. It's four. Wow. A brace for Shepherd. That was probably one of the best passing goals I've seen at the Impact Arena.
I mean, yeah, that was incredible. From left to right, straight across the box. Must have been about 10 passes in there. It came from that 1-2 here, inside their own half, through to the substitute, Brian Taylor. He found the incisive pass inside, and then it was eventually just shifted across the box. Shepherd cuts it onto his left foot and makes it a brace for himself. 2 for South Shields then. Blackett and Shepherd getting a brace apiece, and it's 4-1.
Well, that was... I was talking about how they'd killed us off with the passing play, just keeping the ball, interchanging it at the back. We couldn't press them with being a man down. We've taken a man out of the front three is our choice, and it's that really showed just then the way they kind of knocked the ball around the back, played a 1-2 with one of the attackers dropping deep. He got into a good position, drove the team forward. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5 first-time passes out to Shepherd, who isolated Newell on the far side, got it onto his left foot, and just guided it into the far corner past Jake Askew's right hand, and more than definitely put the game to bed as Moyo gets on and Jed Abbey gets a consolation. That's all it'll be, 4-2. Well, we can't say it's been a boring game.
No, you've had 6 goals here at the Impact. I mean, that ball, just one for the goalkeeper to think about. Moyo makes it difficult for him, pokes it just before he's about to claim it. It's a fair challenge from the substitute, and then it drops to the fellow substitute, Jed Abbey, to add to his tally for this season, making it 7 for himself, and it was the last action of the game.
Well, I was about to say comebacks on, but the referee blows his final whistle. Jed Abbey grabbing a consolation at the death, 4-2. A couple of things in there, thanking us for the commentary. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We do enjoy it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. My voice is going, so I'm going to let you do the ending.
Yeah, well, we will be back. We'll see you all when we come to your place. But if you missed the first half action, it was Lewis Salmon who gave Alfreton the lead, and he looked on the front foot. It looked like it could be a great night, but George Willis went from 0 to 0 after making 2 fantastic saves to getting himself sent off for dissent, and then a foul he made following a mistake in his area. That led to the visitors getting back into the game. That was 1-1. I have missed out Paul Blackett's goal in my summary, but Paul Blackett did score before Willis did that. We went in 1-1 at the break, and we thought this is going to be ones where we're going to have to make it a real scrappy and horrible game. It didn't quite happen as Blackett fired an unstoppable strike past Askew into the back of the net for 2-1, and from that point South Shields controlled, killed and ran away with the game as they added a third and a fourth through full-back Collie Shepherd, as once he went out onto that right-hand side, he turned into Mo Salah. Cutting in on his left foot, fantastic. And yeah, what'll be a great win on the road for South Shields.
Cheers, mate.
And a commiserating loss for Alfreton and Billy Heath's side. But we will go again on Saturday against Scunthorpe away. We will be there. So if you're wanting some more Alfreton commentary, please tune in for that on Saturday. But we don't blame you after a 4-2 defeat.
If you're not too bothered.
Tonight. But yeah, that's our show done for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you on Saturday afternoon, hopefully.